Good morning. Wait for it. Wait for it. There's nothing going on. Nothing. That's what we're waiting for. Nothing. Nothing going on. Isn't that funny? Ooh. Let's see. Maybe it's the weather. Let's see. It says we're 64. We have wind advisory. But I thought that was, says Saturday, 7 a.m. to Saturday. It was supposed to be Sunday. Now they moved it for today. Let's actually click on it. Let's see. So spring, 7 a.m. Yep. So they're moving it. Lake advisory effects from 11 a.m. this morning to 8 p.m. this evening. Okay. It was a couple days ago. We had a lake advisory, but it was for Sunday, for tomorrow. Now it's for today. I hate wind, but it's only gusts up to 10 to 15. I mean, 10 to 15 wind miles per hour, gusts up to 35, I think to 40, I think is what it says. Let's see here. Yeah. West winds 5 to 20. Oh, they raised it up. 15 to 20 miles with gust winds at 35. So we're 65, but pollen count, oh my God. That's why I'm just so in the head. Pollen count is 9.5, medium high. Actually, that's kind of on the high side. They should have changed that. But, oh well, life goes on. Let's actually see what actually the temperature is. About 60. Humidity is 37%. So, okay. So we got the weather out here. So everybody knows what the weather is this morning. We're kind of on the cloudy side, but that's okay. Let's see. Now this is tea. Iced tea. Sweet tea. It's not really sweet this time. Sometimes I'll make tea where it's a little bit sweeter than other times. Other times I hardly put any sugar in it. Sometimes I don't put sugar in it. It all depends on how grumpy I am. Sometimes I think I need to be more sweeter. I don't know. But anyways, my nose is itching. Sorry about that. Then I sniffles. Sorry about that too. Okay, what is life going on? Life is going on slowly. But that's okay. I hear a motorcycle. Libby's like, I hear it too. Are you protecting Mama? Well, tell him. Tell him. Come here. Come here, baby. Did you tell him? Did you tell him? Huh? I don't see anybody. I heard him. But I didn't see anybody. Did you see him? Huh? Did you? Where did he go? Where did he go? That's an airplane. Now I hear an airplane. Yeah, that's an airplane. Where did he go? Where are they? Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Huh? Libby. Libby, you a good girl? Kisses? Good girl. Yep. She's silly. She's the silliest little thing in the whole wide world. So what we get for getting a Yorkie poo, huh? That's what we get for being a Yorkie poo. Yeah. Yes, it is. Are you watching? Are you protecting Mama? Are you protecting Mama? Huh? Are you? Protect the Mama? Are you protecting the Mama? No, you just go there and give them loves. That's all you do. Use yours. You're not vicious. You're not a vicious baby. She growls at us because she wants something or anything like that. Wait. Oh, did I put you back there? What a sweet. Oh, my nose itches. Yeah, it's just one of those days. We had beautiful sunshine. Yesterday and the day before, and really warm. And now it's not chilly. I could turn up the heat, but I'm not going to. Could shut the vent. Not going to, because it's not that, cold. And what else? Let's see. There's nothing else going on. So I have to, I've been talking a little bit about what's going on with the people in the church. Almost pretty much all of us are good people. And the two people that's been having, I would say, some issues, or it came up, both of them could, well, actually there's three of them. One, I think she does it because of her husband, so I'm putting them both together. But technically, these two, one is a husband and wife, and I just love his wife. But she made a mistake, and both of them could be in trouble for doing something illegal. The other one could be caused, what you would say, embezzling? Or would that be too rush? I actually don't think this person really knows, because her heart's in the best place. She's kind of a naive person. She's very caring, though. Sometimes when you get naive, they kind of, I don't know, they're a whole different type of people. But she's very sweet, very caring, very, she is sensitive, but she is very naive. growing up, she's had issues. I know I don't match. I don't match, but I don't care. But anyways, she's everything she does, she always blames it on what has happened in her past. And it's like, what happened in your past doesn't mean that that you have to keep every time you do something wrong or anything like that. You can't say it's because of my past. It's like, grow up. Your past is your past. You can't change your past, but you can learn and learn from it. Well, that's where kind of I think the naive coming from. Her husband basically, apparently, she's never really made choices from herself, and way I'm understanding is her sister-in-law and brother-in-law, which her sister-in-law is supposed to be her best friend, does the same thing. So, they basically, don't let her. There's a bug. It's just bugging the hell out of me. Yes, I'm a bug. And it's bugging me. But anyways, they don't let her grow and expand. And she's been in a position over a year now, where everyone thought that she had some experience in it, and she really come find out she really doesn't, and she don't want anyone to help her, and she's hid things from the church, hid things from the pastor, won't talk to the pastor about anything, and she spends money where she shouldn't be spending money. That's not hers. That's all I'm going to say. The other person, which is him and his wife, has been already caught of signing papers that shouldn't be signed by them. I'm going to put it that way. And we're noticing that he really doesn't know. He wants to be a pastor, but he really doesn't know this scripture like he should. And he uses the scripture as his own gain. And it's not like all of them are very likable people, and we don't want them, they could stay in the church, but we're just going to hopefully just say, hey, things are coming up, we don't have any of this, so we're just going to start fresh. Take them out of supposedly their position, and both of them are actually not even church members, so for putting them in a position that they're not even a church member is totally wrong. So let's basically wipe the slate clean and start all over again and make it all right. It's basically what we want, and we, there isn't going to be any anything from it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we're just gonna clean the slate, start all over again, and go from there. And so that's kind of where we're at there. And this will be probably one of the times that I'll probably end this. I might talk about it that it all worked out and stuff. So it's seeing how it all basically plays out if they stay with the church or they go. So, but let's see. What was that? Might have been a little rabbit. I don't know. So I'm not seeing it. There it goes. Nope, a little ground squirrel. Seen something running across, and I'm like, what is that? Because it was kind of jumping. It's a little ground squirrel. But what other can we talk about? Oh, so some of the other stuff that I listen to or watch on YouTube. That's mainly what I watch all day long throughout the day is YouTube, different stuff. And now I'm getting involved in, on Facebook, some of these groups that has to do with stuff on YouTube. And I am getting so sick of people on Facebook that instead of talking about it on YouTube, they're over there talking about it on Facebook. And one gal, she's saying threatening women and bullying women and this person is not even, I haven't ever seen him threaten anybody. And she throws in two other people that has never threatened anybody in this. And she goes, I know I'm calling the cops and I'm sending them all of these clips and everything and I'm doing, um getting hold of this nonprofit agency here, and this one here, I guess, I'm not gonna read what she basically has did. But, she's going on and on about this and I'm like, first of all, your first part of talking about this, you're tired of the drama. Well, if you're tired of and this is a person that always brings up stuff anyways. So I'm like going, if you're tired of the drama, stop watching that person. Plain and simple. Stop watching on YouTube. Stop watching everybody that you think has issues with women. Stop watching them. Police officers are going to look at your stuff and they're going to laugh because you've done this over and over and over and over and over and over again. They're probably sitting there, they're taking your phone calls and everything and talking to you and being really sweet and saying, yeah, we could do something, but in reality they're laughing at you. More likely laughing at you. So, I'm like, I just had to adjust something on my thing, so I apologize. So I'm like going, I am so tired of these dramatic people that are making drama, or it's people that are so offended about every little thing that you do. And I'm like going, back in the 80s, when I was young, a teenager, early 20s, we never got offended. You know, that's how we were raised. We were raised to go outside. You get a scraped knee, and you come in, you want a band-aid, and your dad or mom looks at you and go, "You're not dying from it. Go play." Come back in when the street lights come on. You know, we had commercials at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, was it 10 o'clock? I think it was at 10 o'clock. I was always in bed most of the time because I always went to bed. My parents would go, "Where is she?" You know, on the night that I could stay up, you know, "Where is she?" Here I am in bed, sound asleep. I'm still that way. I'll crawl into bed and go to sleep. I don't even tell my husband goodnight. He'll come back and he'll check on me, and here I am in bed, asleep. You know, that's how I've always been. But anyways, so you know, we grew up drinking water out of a hose, staying up until the post light, a commercial saying, "Do you know where your kids are?" To remind the parents, "Do you know where they are?" You know, I mean, we grew up, and then you got, you know, in the 60s, and you know, you got the kids in the 80s, you got the kids in the 70s, you got the kids in the 60s and the 50s and everything. Once you got, when my kids were born, which was late 80s, because it was, one was born in 88, one was born in 90, and one was born in 95. So late 80s to early 90s is when things started. It was like a borderline, because a lot of us raised our kids like we were raised. And then it's like, as soon as mid 90s, I noticed in the mid 90s, about 95 and on, is when, well, everybody deserves a star. Everyone did something. Everyone gets a reward, you know, and we started making, you know, people, "Oh, we can't say that because that will offend the kids." You know, and then we have people that are called woke people. I still haven't figured those people out yet. I know what it means. Don't come back and say, "This is what it means." I know what it means. But I don't understand why they say that they're woke. Because they don't make sense to me. If you're woke, that means, to me, if you woke up, you wouldn't be doing these things. You wouldn't be saying these things. You have no receipts for saying these things. These things don't you can't back these things up. That's not woke. That is you being a dumb That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, I'm on my soapbox this morning. You know, it's all over this one gal that's talking about certain people on YouTube is threatening women. Got me started this morning. And I'm like, really? I'm typing away, you know, and I'm like, you don't want drama, but you're creating drama by calling the police and calling these other people, other nonprofit agency that has nothing to do with anything. You're being dramatic about it. So who's actually making drama? She is. She don't want the drama. She stops watching. She shuts off her little gadgets, her phone, her thing, delete the apps, and not watch YouTube, not watch TV. My husband, he goes, my husband and I, we actually live pretty much drama-free lives. As much as you can, because if you think about it, life is, everybody's life at one point or another in their life has drama. That has to do with, family members, something that's happening in your life. It's like the church situation. Yeah, it is drama. But we are working on getting rid of it. The drama in the church. Getting rid of it. Making sure we're improving the church. It's like, this really irritates me because, we're back on the church thing. The one person that, and it's him and his wife, and I don't believe his wife means it. She's just following what he's asking her to do. So, and I love his wife. And I've, nothing has ever came out of her mouth that any signs of anything, okay? But find out that he doesn't believe in church. He doesn't believe in the Holy Spirit and the being baptized. And like I told our pastor, going, well, wouldn't that mean that he doesn't believe in God? If he doesn't believe in those, I mean, the church is not a building. Technically, you can have church out in the middle of the desert without a building. A church is a body of people to bring the church together, is basically what it is. Some people call it the bride of the church, which a friend of mine and I have discussed it the other day. And she says it's very interesting because she's always heard bride, the bride instead of the church in the body. And she goes, and what our pastor is saying, it says right in the Bible. It's the body of the church. So, like he says, he doesn't want a church that has cliques. And that's basically because once you start having cliques, you start having divisions in the body of the church. People don't think about that, which is true. I mean, even if I didn't care for somebody and someone didn't care for me in the church, when we're there together, we're supporting each other. We're, believing in, we're all there for a reason. We're all there to worship our God, our Savior, and to do God's work, whatever that might be. Because everyone's on a different, kind of like on a different mission, but we come together to make us stronger so we can do that mission with the support and the backup. I hope I got that right, but basically is how I see it. But we could get along, we can, hang out together, we could do things, even though we don't care for each other. We could still do that because we're God's children, you know. Nobody has to be perfect, but yeah. So it's kind of like this one gal with the drama and this other person at the church. Kind of the same lines because they're creating drama at the church when in reality we shouldn't have any drama at the church. We all should be equals in everything else. So, but that's hearsay, and well, it's not really hearsay because it's my point of view. And I'm not really bashing anybody outside as I'm saying my opinions of what I'm seeing, what I'm visually seeing, and everything. Like I said, the person that's at the church, the two people at the church, I want them to continue to go to church there. I just want this solved so we're all on the evil, thing. This gal on Facebook, she needs to understand that she needs to start looking at things in a different way, that she shouldn't have to, every time someone says something that she might be offended about, that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. That means that they're not bullying you. That means that they're not threatening you or anybody else. And then you add a group of other people to it and saying, and everybody's, are looking at it going, they never said anything. You know, if you don't like something, if you don't like the church, don't go to that church. If you don't like what's on YouTube, stop watching it. Plain and simple. You know, me, I like certain things. There's certain, my husband, he's listening and everything. He goes, the drama for the mama. And he just rolls his eyes. And he goes, actually, technically, really not. You're just keeping track of what's going on. He goes, I can't believe people are this stupid, and he has to take it this far in order to get it to stop. And it's like, yeah, you know, I don't understand, you know. You don't like this person? Why are you bad mouthing them? Why are you making contact over this person to get higher readings? Because all you're gonna do is kill your channel on YouTube. I'm just saying. And if you don't do receipts, or if you do receipts that says something totally different than what you're talking about, that's going to destroy your channel. And right now, certain people have sorry to say, stupid people that wants to believe them, like a cult like thing. So it's like, well, you have your little quote people, but in reality, eventually, the way you're going, they're all going to be, we don't like you no more. Goodbye. We're already seeing that less and less. So, because you're not telling the whole truth. You're telling maybe that much of the truth, but you're spinning it. I don't want to call you liars, but you're spinning the truth where it's not even the truth anymore. Is that lying? I don't know. But you're spinning the truth. Because one minute you're telling the truth, the next minute you're spinning the truth to how you want it to be. You know, this whole thing about, yeah, and this is what's another thing that's going on that I really, really have a pet peeve against right now is there's the truth. Like I said, the truth. There's their truth and my truth, basically. So you got three there. Like I said, the truth, your truth, or their truth, and our truth. Well, their truth, our truth, my truth shouldn't even, that doesn't even exist. Period. Does not exist. Period, period. Period, period, period. That's like people being woke. I'm woke. I am not a female. I'm a them. Um, excuse me? Do you wear a bra? Do you have periods? Do you have something in your pants? Do you have run things in your pants? Then you're not a them or whatever. Male or female. Male or female. And people are going to say, Cheryl, you're crazy. You know, it's all laid out in the Bible. God didn't make them or it's. It's even in our genetics, they could test what you actually are. Plain and simple, you know. But I know if anybody watches this, somebody's going to get really butthurt about it. But I don't care. This is my opinion, my channel. You could shut it off and you could go someplace else. This is my soap opera. My soap opera. My soap opera. I don't have a soap opera. My soapbox today. That's what I should have put. Soap. My soapbox. But yeah, and then I was watching, and I want to shout him out because I really, he has helped a lot of people to get a lot of stuff that I've been watching, a lot of stuff from the court system. And I know a lot of people won't watch this, but this is a shout out. If you do watch this, go look up Max Lab. Subscribe to him. He's got a bigger subscribing than I do, but do go over there and subscribe to him. He's a very sweet kid. Autism. He has autism. He's, you know, very sweet, very caring, very lovable. You know, give him some loves. You know, he's trying to make ends meet. And, you know, he was, this morning I was watching his video and he was talking about the haters. And he's tired of the haters going after him for, I don't know, because I don't have him. I haven't seen his. I don't go on Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. Twitter's nothing but bullies, hateful things. I've never. I mean, I do have a Twitter account, but I've never seen anything nice and sweet on Twitter at all. It's always hatred and being bullied and everything. And he was talking about his Twitter account, how everybody is going after him because it was a personal. The only thing is once you start doing social media, your life does not become is not personal no more. And maybe he doesn't quite understand that. But nobody should be hating anybody if you don't know what they're like in real life. You know, he might be posting this and he might be posting that on Twitter. That doesn't mean that he's certain things or anything like that. He's doing his opinion. Most of the time his opinions are his opinions, and they're not rude, mean, bullied, or anything like that. They're just opinions. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of going to stop doing a lot of things on Facebook, because I'm noticing Facebook is getting more and more like Twitter. There's just a lot of more hateful things on it. And I'm working on doing more of not this, but more of maybe like a talk show, more for different opinions, outlooks of other people on my on this account, and showing updates of our property. Of course, there's not much going on, and you know, we're hoping by the end of the year um to get a septic, and figuring out how to do all that on our property. But we're also talking about eventually maybe not even doing that, maybe just leaving it the way it is and taking off and being gone for a while. We got the trailer. We can hook up and go anywhere that we want to go. You know, I mean, we were talking because, you know, Chuck Norris died, and he was only just barely over 20 more years. Let's see. Yeah. Just over 20 years older than we are. So, you know, 20 more good years left. Do we really want to be struggling of trying to get a house built, or do we want to go traveling some and then come back? So, you know, that's kind of where we're at, and if we do some traveling, you'll get some videos on this channel over that. Whatever I do, I will take you along for it, whatever we decide to do. But that's kind of where we're at right now. We're at a standpoint on the property, since we had to spend so much money on getting into a small trailer because my brother-in-law is a narcissist. But he's blaming it because of health issues. But, you know, I forgive him. My sister's got to live with him and deal with him. She has for 20 plus years, so she could deal with it. But I'm going to say it's already 44, almost 45 minutes long of me rambling on. I just wanted to get on here. I just wanted to air out, shake out the rugs. So I'm going to say goodbye. Adios, amigos. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you on the other side sometime next week, probably Thursday.